Hey everybody, this is Jimmy Lemke of PantherU.com. I just wanted to preview the Wright State game that happens about 2 o'clock later today. A little background on Wright State. They are 11-15, 6-8 in the Horizon League. They are 2 games out of 6th place, which, if you are familiar with the Horizon League tournament format, means that the 6th place team is the last of the 3 to 6 seeds that gets a home game in the conference tournament. Currently, Milwaukee and Detroit are tied at 5th, so one of us would drop to the 6th seed and be that last team that hosts a game. Since we're 8-6, Wright State is 6-8. That makes this game extremely important. Wright State is the 8th seed, but a victory over Wright State would pretty much ensure that Milwaukee will do no worse than the 6th seed, since Green Bay, the 7th seed, would have to finish at least one game ahead of Milwaukee in the standings due to our sweep over the Phoenix. So as you can tell, this game is extremely important from our end because it is the closest thing we can get to clinching a home game in the conference tournament at this point. If you remember the first game against Wright State, Milwaukee floored them. The Panthers won 58-38. It was a game that wasn't even close. It was due to the fact that Wright State's star player, Julius Mays, who is one of the leading scorers in the Horizon League, was actually only held to a handful of points in a great defensive effort by Ryan Allen and Ryan Haggerty, and I believe I saw a couple possessions that Mays missed shots where Paris-Skelly was defending him. It was a well put together defensive effort, and it held Wright State to 38 points. As a team, they don't score much. They're second to last in points per game. They're last in field goal percentage. They're last in a bunch of things: rebounds, assists. But Julius Mays, as an individual, is very good in the scoring book. So to take away that big player was a killer for Wright State in the last game, and I believe would obviously be our strategy going into this game at the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Wright State's offense just is fairly anemic, even with Julius Mays. Like I mentioned, they're last in field goal percentage, they're last in assists, they're last in offensive rebounds. So they really struggle to get points. In fact, probably the best number to describe their offense is they are last in points per possession at 0.9 per possession. It's not good. You want to be at least 1 because then at least you're getting a push. And anything over that is gravy. And Wright State is significantly below that mark. So you can tell that Wright State isn't going to beat you with their offense. And unfortunately, Wright State isn't going to beat you with their defense either. They are last in opponent field goal percentage defense, efficient field goal percentage defense. They allow their opponents to get the most in assists. This would be the perfect time for the offense to explode. We only scored 58 on them last time. You could tell that our offense wasn't firing on all cylinders. This would be the perfect game for Kalen Williams to go out and break the career assists record held by Mark Mitchell. With all due respect to Gerald Hardnett's 460-some assists, Mark Mitchell did it against D1 competition as a D1 school. So Kalen Williams has a real record that he could really topple. Ryan Allen could get closer to the 37 blocks needed to join the top of that list in the single season blocks record. Tony Meyer is still about he won't do it today, but he's about 70-some points away from joining the 1,000-point club. So this is the time of year that records and milestones are joined, and this is the kind of game that you can really look for as a way to get closer to those goals. I'm going to look for Caleb Williams to have a big game. Wright State really does not defend the guard position well. They let high shooting percentages, and obviously, like I mentioned, they let in a lot of assists. So expect Caleb Williams to probably break the record today. Um, he should he should get a lot of assists, and as a Panther fan, we should be looking for Paris Gully and Tony Meyer to try to both get going together. I think that's the game where Milwaukee becomes really dangerous. When Paris Gully is shooting well, we're doing well. When Tony Meyer is shooting well, we're doing well. If you got Paris Gully and Tony Meyer shooting together at the same time consistently, I think that elevates this team to one of the best in the conference. I wanted to talk shortly about the injuries. Obviously, Evan Richard came back Friday night. His back is still, it's not at 100%, but it's enough for him to be on the floor and get out there. Obviously, Gerard McCallum looks to be shut down for the rest of the year. Lonnie Boga already has been shut down. But a lot of people don't realize the injuries that have been going on the court. Caleb Williams' tendonitis flared up considerably in the Detroit game. Everybody saw it after that collision. I believe it was Doug Anderson that collided with him. Maybe it was Jason Caliste or Chase Simon. But the collision that took Kalen out of the game for several minutes, his tendonitis in his knee is very, very much bothering him. He is able to play, so that's not much of a problem. But he is severely limited in his athleticism while he's on the court. Ryan Allen has been bothered by leg injuries. It seems like Tony Meyer is finally starting to really get his legs under him. He came back for the Chicago home games, so it was 2 months ago at least, and Tony's been struggling to get that where he was last year. And the last couple games, Green Bay, Saturday, and Friday night against Detroit, we really saw Tony Meyer get back to being Tony Meyer. And if we can get the Tony Meyer for the rest of the season that we had last year, I think that not only will Milwaukee be a dangerous team, I think they're a legitimate program to in winning the conference tournament. It will be difficult. It's very likely that the conference tournament's going to be at Valparaiso. They have to beat UIC and Loyola, and then they have to beat Butler. But 3 home games and the chance to clinch their first regular season title in the Horizon League against the team that they probably see as their arch rival, like pretty much everybody sees Butler as their arch rival. They're going to pack the arc. They're going to have it. So I'm going forward with the notion that we're going to be spending a weekend in lovely Valparaiso, Indiana. And I look at the top 6 teams in the conference, and I see this as, if we can get Tony Meyer going and Paris Gully going, we can really, really win the whole thing. It's an uphill battle whenever you're a 3 through 6 seed. You're a talented program, but you've got the uphill battle of having to win 4 games to win the conference championship. So it may be difficult, but I really think that we've got a shot to win the thing, and that really begins today against Wright State. You have to try and use this against an anemic defense like Wright State. You have to try and use these games as a springboard to get your players going. So let's hope that the Panthers can get Paris Gully going. Let's hope that they can get Tony Meyer going, and let's see what we have in store for us. Go Panthers!